Hey, year 10s. Today we're going to do the division of indices, and I'm just going to explain it completely, and then I'm going to get into the law. And the law is the shortcut. So really, here's the explanation of it. So you can also, when you have division, you can think of it as a fraction. So I'm just going to rewrite that as p to the power of 5 over p to the power of 3. So that also means that it's p1, 2, 3, 4, 5, p to the power of 5 over p times p times p. So we can start canceling out. Cancel 1, cancel, cancel, cancel. And I'm left over with 2 p's, which is p squared. Now, the summary, or the way of kind of doing this a lot more easily, is the rule is when you see division, it means you can subtract. So that would become p to the power of 5 minus 3, which equals p to the power of 2. And notice we got the same answer with a lot less writing out things over and over and over and over and over again. I know. I enjoy a good shortcut as well. So let's look at a couple different ones that are a little bit trickier. I'll do just another one real fast to kind of give you another example, just so you can see it. Let's try x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 2. So all you have to do is you go x 7 minus 2, which equals x to the power of 5. So that's a quick way of doing that. If I gave this to you ahead of time as x to the power of 7 over x to the power of 2, you can actually take that and rewrite it as x to the power of 7 divided by x to the power of 2. Just as long as you remember, the first, the one that's on the top of your fraction is the first being divided, and then the second item is the denominator is the second item. And remember, in subtraction, order matters. So if you went 2 minus 7, it's going to get you -5. So that kind of gives you something different. So let's try something a little bit trickier. I'm going to erase everything I just did, just so I have a little bit more room, because this one's going to take a bit of space to do. So I just wanted to make sure I showed you another one. I just talked about that. So let's look at one that's going to take me a whole lot more space to do. So this one I've got 4 x to the power of 2, y to the power of 4 over 8 xy squared. So this one's a little bit trickier. Actually, in looking at it, sorry, that's my third example. So I'm going to actually just erase it real quick. That's my third example. That's really hard. I'm going to actually step back. I'll go with my second example, which is 12m to the power of 8 divided by 6 to the power m to the power of 3. Yeah, that one's a little bit easier. So the first thing I like to do is I'm going to draw it as a fraction. So I'm just going to make this a little bit easier, just to visualize. 12m to the power of 8 over 6m to the power of 3. So the first thing we can do is you can look at this. Well, we can reduce that with our calculator, and that's going to reduce to 2 over 1. So that reduces down. So when I write, I go 2m to the power of 8 over, I can write 1m to the power of 3, but don't forget that we don't have to write our ones when we do algebra. So that's so far so good. So the next thing we do is we can now do our math with our indices. So we go equals 2. I then write m, and I'm going to do my indice law number 2, which is 8 minus 3, which becomes 2m. What's 8 minus 3? To the power of 5. And there's your final answer. Yes. Okay. One last one. This is going to be that hard one that I started, and then I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I want to leave this one until after. So with this one, it's a little bit more to it. So we got 4 x squared y to the power of 4 over 8 x y to the power of 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deal with my 4 and the 8. So I'm going to look at those, and I know I can reduce those down to 1 and 2, dividing them both by 4. So I know 4 divided by 4 makes 1. And 8 divided by 4 makes 2. That's how I reduce those down. So I'll rewrite things. Just give me a second to get a different colored pen. So I'll reduce that down, and now that is 1x squared y to the power of 4 over 2x y squared. Don't forget, don't have to write our 1s. We can actually make that go away. And that 4 doesn't look great. Let me just write it a little bit neater just so it looks like to the power of 4. That looks way better. Okay, so that's good. The next thing we're going to do is we're now going to do our division. So watch this. So I go 2, because that's on the bottom from before. I'm now going to do x. The power of x is 2 minus the power of x here. Notice there's no number written. We don't write our 1s. So there's a 1 right there next to the x that's there. We just didn't write it. That's 2 minus 1. And then y 4 minus 2. I got my 4 from here and my 2 from here. I got my 2 from here and my 1 from here. So there's my 2 and my 1. And there's my 4 and the 2. So that's where I got those from. So now I can do x, what's 2 minus 1? 1. And what's y, 4 minus 2? 2 over 2. And don't forget, you can write this in even nicer form, which would be x, you don't have to write your 1, y2 over 2. And that would be a great way to kind of finish that off. And there's your final answer. That's a trickier one, but definitely push yourself and try some of the hard ones as well. I've given you your practice, and it's there on Google Classroom for you. Have fun and have a great day.